Hold on. So now, what had happened was, and that's another question too. Okay,
What?
so what happened was this woman was being shown a video on the TikTok
Uh-huh.
saying that you should when you're in a public restroom, that when you use your feminine hygiene product, you put them in a little garbage can, the metal one
Yeah.
that supposedly, I say supposedly, has those little paper bags in there.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Right. That's why I said supposedly.
Uh-huh.
But what you're supposed to do is not leave it there, but take the little paper bag out with you and take that paper bag and throw it away in the garbage can.
When? No,
Once
seriously.
you
When?
No, no, seriously. That was I turned it off because I'm like, y'all not going to try to gaslight me and stuff. Because I'm like, first of all, when is there more than one of them little paper bags in that thing? Second of all, isn't that the point of having it there or having a trash receptacle, anything, so we do not have to take it from said bathroom to the thing? Because
Mhm.
that's the bad part that we don't want to do. Because we could have just wrapped it in a shitload of toilet paper and did
Uh-huh.
that anyway.
Which I tend to do, and then put it in a damn little bag anyhow.
Hmm. Which is what you're supposed to do.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So why is TikTok trying to gaslight us into something that is not true?
I don't know what these youngins are talking about. Not a one.
I don't know. But why is that a thing on TikTok? That they try to reinvent the wheel into a triangle.
Because that's the culture, the social media culture
Yes,
that we are in.
and I don't get it because I'm like, it wasn't broken. It was working perfectly fine
It
for
was.
years and years. It does not compute. That's why I say it. I'm like, I don't know. I really don't. But okay. Well, with that being said,
Listen, I go on TikTok to watch Lord of the Rings stuff. Mm. Or K-pop.
oh no, I have learned. I have my funny things because there's a few creators that I follow that are actually doing series, like full skit series. I'm like, and two of them turned it into a book. Yeah, I know. One is still editing and working on it, so I'm waiting for that to come out so I can read it. And the other one I gotta get. So I follow that. And then I have educational videos, is what I call educational. So something else that's been helping me lately is that because hubby has chronic illness, right? We have it's undiagnosed, but we know it's a chronic illness because well, he's chronically sick. So I've been following, and he's peeped on my TikTok, and he started following some people who actually have the chronic illness, not the doctors talking about it, but the actual person. And they give you tips and advice of what happens, of how they're feeling. And like the last one that he peeped onto was a PSA. Not this is what not to do when your friend has a chronic illness. Stop saying these things. Stop doing these things. Stop expecting them. Oh, it's like, oh, they like here's an example. Oh, you're home, so you have time to do stuff. No, they're sick. What if they don't have the energy to do it? Mm-hmm. Right. Not that you're just home willy nilly. You home because you have to be because you're sick. And a lot of people don't understand or realize that. They just think, oh, you're at home resting, so you could do all this other stuff that I need you to do. No, it, it's the exact same thing of saying, oh, you work from home, you can get this stuff done. I'm working,
Right.
but you're home, but I'm working.
I got things to do.
And
My job.
but people really don't get this. They think you're at home asleep doing a mouse jiggle.
But even if you were home asleep because your body's resting, it's still resting. Um,
Hmm.
the thing that I find, and I think it's that's true. A lot of people will think that because they don't comprehend the severity of an illness or what it could do to you. It's like, all right, so I talk about beta thalassemia, which I didn't get diagnosed with until I was in my 30s. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, the doctors always try to treat the symptoms,
Mhm.
right? But they never knew what the root cause was. And that's why when people say, I have an undiagnosed illness, it's because no one's diagnosed it yet because they don't know what
Right.
the root of it is.
Mhm.
How certain symptoms work in my body, but you don't know the X, Y, and Z. The same thing with one of my colleagues who is going through some stuff where they're sort of narrowing down that it could be something to do related with COVID or
Mhm.
having COVID a few years back,
Mhm.
um, which has changed like how it unlocks it might have unlocked dormant genes,
Yes.
which is causing that person to start exhibiting a lot of things that when you have like a blood disorder
Mhm.
is now having in her mid
Mhm.
60s, which she never had before in her life.
Right.
Um, and so at least they're getting to a point where they're kind of like, okay, they're still taking care of the symptoms, but it's not, they're narrowing down to hopefully come up with, okay, that's what it is specifically. But when people hear, oh, this is you don't know what your issue is, and this is what happens when you're at home, they just automatically assume, well, shit, pardon my English, you're there. Why can't you get this done? Why can't Because they don't know really that you might have joint issues, you might have muscle problems. Sometimes it's just easier to say I got this and call it a day. And sometimes
Right.
you know,
And it,
I got
exactly
lymphomia or something.
right. Exactly what you're saying is what the creator was saying. I was just paraphrasing because I don't remember everything right now. But exactly what you were saying is what she was trying to give things to. It's like, yes, you do not know what flare up I'm having at that time. You do not know how I'm feeling. You do not know how much energy and strength it might take me to do a normal task for you. It would take 2 seconds, but next takes me 2 hours.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I have been following content like that. And this regular stupid
That gives
cop
you good
videos.
ideas. Yeah,
Hmm.
it gives you good videos. But just the idea of me having to put my vaginal wipes
That's
in
what
the
it's there
trash
for.
can,
But that's what it's there for in there so
that
you
don't
can.
make no sense.
So why
And
would you
that
put it there?
right. Because if it because it just came out my coochie cooch, right? It, why am I gonna put it in the toilet? The plastic garbage bag because it's gonna be handled differently, right? So no, I'm gonna still continue putting it in the feminine trash bin. Yeah.
That's why they installed them and that's why they were invented.
Mhm.
Because that just makes sense. But
Mhm.
you have, like I said, people reinventing the wheel and putting it into triangle and
Maybe
saying
it's
this is the
also
way to
people
go.
how things are done in some other people's countries.
That it could be true.
Because I didn't learn until I went to Canada. Just after me to say this, that you're supposed to rinse out bottles and stuff before you put it in the recycle bin.
You are?
Well, in Canada, you do, because I got yelled at about it. And then I started doing it myself. I said, oh, that makes sense. So when instead of just, like if I finish by the way, people, I drink a lot of water and sometimes juice. So, but juice is the ones that have that color, the difference. If you
Mm-hmm.
just take the bottle and just crush it and put it into your thing without rinsing it, if it has a leak in there, it's gonna leak on your recycle bin and make it sticky, which I, which I've had happen. And if you throw recycled stuff without rinsing them out, like if you finish, like I do a lot of takeout. Well, I used to do a lot of takeout. I can't do it no more. But I used to have a lot of takeout, and I just put the plastic bin right where it was. That would make things sticky in the bottom. So now I just do exactly what they told me to do in Canada. You rinse the crap out, then put it in the recycle bin. It keeps your recycle bin a lot cleaner.
Hmm. Did not know that. That's actually a really makes so much sense.
Yeah,
But yeah, I understand. I don't know if it was another country. I am going it by my American New York
brain said.
experience.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not trying to put my ideologies on somebody else, but to my American Brooklyn brain, that ain't make no dang no sense. Because half the time, my first statement was, half the time there ain't no damn little bags in there. So when
No,
you saying there's two, three, four, five bags, I'm like, where?
true,
You lucky if you get one.
true.
You lucky if there's a whole bin there and not part of the Walmart. So when you open it up and you can see into the next door. I've had that happen. I go like this and like, oh well, that's not gonna happen.
That's why I love that. I love. Oh, I'm telling you, this is sad that we're on this conversation, but I love bathrooms in different countries. I'm not gonna lie because I love it where
Mm-hmm.
it has that full on cube. So like it's
Mm-hmm.
from the bottom to the ceiling. It's just full on closed. I was like,
Oh
why can't
no,
they do that
cause
here?
you know where they did that at? That was beautiful. The Port Authority.
See,
They redid the bathrooms and it full on.
I
You still
love
got the
that.
little bit at the bottom, cause so you can see people feet. No, no, no. I know what you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
but this still New York, so you can still see the people feet.
Okay,
So
okay.
you can see if somebody in there or not.
Mm.
But they slid the door so you do not have that big old gap like this, it like that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, that's good. If it wasn't at the Port Authority, I would use it more, but it's at the Port Authority.
But yeah, that's why I was like, because I was, it was like the whole thing where, like, what I made when it made me think about that was where the whole unisex toilets were, because I'm like, I do see a lot of unisex toilets out of the United States, and it made sense to me for them to have that because of the way they make the bathrooms, where the stalls are literally a cube, where you
Hmm.
cannot see from the this side, that side, this side, this side, that side, this side, nothing. It's like
Hmm.
once you in there. You got the stuff for your bags. You got the hook for your bag. You got another hook on, like two hooks on on the doors. You got another hook on this side so you can put your coat and your and other bags. Then you got another spot where you need to lay something on. Like they got all these things in there in the toilets, and then they got mad loads of different toilet paper.
I'm sorry. I'm getting yelled at by a dog.
Mm. Sorry, we're talking about the potty.
Come here. You're gonna get on camera today. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Coco, and I had to be in the podcast today because mommy wasn't paying enough attention to me.
Oh, sorry.
So this way,
Literally, your Coco looks like the other Coco that passed away. Carla's Coco.
oh wow, really? Oh okay.
Dang. Your Coco looks like Carla's Coco. Mhm.
Wow, didn't know that.
That's too freak because I told her your dog is called Coco too.
Hmm.
But yeah, your Coco. Well, because last time I saw a photo of your dog, not the family photo, but the one before that when he was naked, when she was
Right, because
naked.
then we had to shave. Oh yeah, all her fur came back.
Hmm. I can
So
see.
see, say hi, people. No, not me. Say hi to the people.
She
She's like,
almost
I
looks
don't
like
care.
Benji.
I know, and I'm like, she knows she cute, and she know how to
Hmm.
use it because she know I'm the weak one. Because she knows she can
Oh my
come to
goodness.
mommy, and mommy will take care of everything. Now, Coco, okay, that's a big yawn, but you're gonna get down now, okay? And you're gonna leave me alone so I can do podcast. No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Ready? Go get down now. Come on. Say bye bye, people. Bye bye. Okay, come on. Get down. There you go. Good girl. Now go over there. So that was our other guest host that loves to bark and stuff. Her cat might show up one day, but we never know.
Hoping you
Doubt
don't.
it though.
I'm
We
hoping you
never
don't.
know.
You know, he does get on the table and try to get in the photos, but it's generally during work time.
Right. Oh no. See, the funny thing about that has happened to me when my therapist has been working from home. I was like, hey, look, it's a kitty, because you just see a cat tail go like that. And she's like, you just wanted to be in the video. How you
It's
doing,
like,
kitty?
really? Really? Now? Et tu,
Hmm.
Brute? Et tu?
Hmm. Exactly. And I'm like, it's just when you have pets, they just do what they want to do when they want to do it, and don't
All
care
day.
about you.
All day.
They're like, feed me now, play with me now. I need attention now, not yesterday, but now. Well, on that note, hello and welcome to Godly Spiritual Ladies. I am one of your co-hosts, Gwendolyn. That is,
Sheila.
mhm. And this is a podcast where we talk about whatever we want. We have a loose schedule that sometimes works, Most of the time, it's whatever we feel like. Cause like if you were here for our last episode, God just said, "No, y'all need to talk about this now, and don't worry about nothing else at all. No, just talk
for
about
about
this."
50 minutes. Ah!
Yeah, just go into topic to topic to topic, and we're just like, okay,
Which, of
you
course, as always, relates to the scripture.
exactly. Now, the funny part is, I realized something. My carpal tunnel is acting up. That's why I
Yes,
got
I see
sprained.
it. Mhm.
hmm And you know how it is. Sometimes you think you have to. Well, okay, let me frame that. Not you think. I think that I have to over explain when things are happening. So my thing is, everybody knows what carpal tunnel is, or have an idea, because they've seen these braces too much, especially for people who work in the office. So I keep thinking I have to explain to people why I have a brace on. It's like, what happened to you? Are you okay? And they're like, no, you probably got carpal tunnel because they know you're in the office. But in my brain, I had to explain it because this is weird. It's just one of them things. And we were talking about this in last episode, how your brain just works and this just like maps it out for you and feels like you have to overdo things. And that's what it was because I'm like, I realized, I said in the last episode, I talk with my hands and I'm doing this and I got this thing on. And I'm like, everybody's just probably because in my brain, it looks like this is neon flashing like that. Like, why are you not telling people about me? Why are you not telling people you were injured? And I'm like, because they can tell. And if they want to know, they can ask. But in my brain, I have to say this because it is flashing like
All I saw when she did that was the Muppets. I don't know why.
that. I don't know
I just
how
saw that she had Gonzo next to her ear for some reason. That was her hand was Gonzo.
you know what the bad part is? I know how she did that. The body's black, my nails are blue, that's his nose. We have been friends way too long. That of a 2 second that I figured it. I'm like, what are you? Oh.
My brain just went flash. I'm like, ah.
You saw my hands hook like this because of the way the thing is, and you just saw the Gonzo's nose, and there's go to Muppets.
Yeah, pretty much. That's too funny.
Oh, freaking hilarious. Oh, Lord.
Random.
hmm
Random.
Random. Okay. One thing I have to remember before we continue for future. This is episode 98. You know that. Okay. So what that means is after this one, your next Quran is our 100th episode. Okay. So whatever you're gonna plan, figure it out and then let me know. I said I told you this when we was like 10 episodes ago. You doing it? Yeah, I know. I know what I said. I said what I said. If I didn't remind you, we wouldn't do none because you would remember 2 episodes after the fact because that would be 2 weeks later. Yeah, I give you about in between the 2 weeks of when you would randomly remember. I didn't say exactly. I said in that 2 weeks you would randomly remember. Go, oh, we were supposed to do that. Oh, I got this great idea. This is what we should do. She let it already pass. What? That would be the whole conversation. So this is me reminding her for the 50 millionth time. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. I'll wait.
She'll be waiting for a while because I wouldn't say that. Nah, nah.
hmm
She on point on that one. No, no, no.
Yeah. Where
Yes,
I'm
yes,
like,
yes. That's funny. Ah.
I was about to say, if y'all don't understand this friendship and what we said, look, watch the last episode. We explained it a little bit more. And if you haven't been watching for a long time, you'll understand. This is us.
True. But this is what 40-year-old women are like. That well, this is what people who've known each other for more than 30 odd years. Hmm.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I started saying 30, 40 years, something like
Because honestly, we've known each other since we were teenagers. People, we're about to hit
that.
midlife.
Yeah, pretty much technically, yeah.
It's like those European people. They've known each other for they like who grew up in the same village.
Exactly. We kind of did.
Yeah, for a bit.
Brooklyn.
Which I left like at 18.
Right, but yeah, we just made this. Why am I gonna say that? That's not right. I was like Tri City thing, and I was gonna say transcendental, and I'm like, wait, but we ain't crossed no ocean. We just hopped on the bus.
Now we're just getting old enough to be like, I need a plane or train.
Pretty much. I was like, yeah. I was like, no, I'm good. Mm. Oh man. Okay. So this is we usually just jibber jabber and get to everything. Excuse me.
But we always end up doing the first episode, and we always jibber jabber the heck the most out of that one.
Because that's when God is like, no, you're gonna talk about this, you're gonna talk about this, you're gonna talk about this. And then
Mhm.
we film the second episode, and half the time, I'm gonna make this joke. Now, half the time, in the first episode, okay, let me frame. When we say first episode and second episode, what it means is we both film. So we do 2 episodes at a time when we film. Now, we say first episode and second episode because I go through the Bible. Now, it used to be before that Sheila would go through the Bible also, but she is more on a spiritual learning. So she wants to explore more, which for me is actually kind of fun because I get to learn about other stuff and see how much I remember. That'll be makes more sense in 2 seconds. So
Mhm.
when say first episode is my episode because we do the Bible part first, and then we jibber jabber and talk about stuff. And this is where God has his sense of humor because he goes like this. He's like, "Oh, y'all gonna talk? Okay, cool. Talk about this. Oh, and that too. Oh, and some of this over here, over there. Oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna make your ring go like this.
With a
Now,
side of that.
with the side of that, right now, with all that being said, mind you, we never planned this. I said,
Nope.
God said to do this, to plan this. Then you're going to read this scripture that is going to tie in exactly to what you literally just said that you made up and didn't know you were going to say.
Mhm.
Air single time.
Mhm.
So that happens on first episode. Now, when
Mhm.
we do second episode, this is where the funny comes in. As we said, Sheila is on a spiritual educational journey.
Mhm.
I am on a weird spiritual memory journey.
Mhm.
I have no memory.
She does, but not so much.
I remember certain things.
Mhm.
I can remember very specific things that happened years ago for no reason. It will randomly
Mhm.
pop in my head. I know exactly what you're talking about. Blase, blase. This what you
Mhm.
said. This what I said. That's what happened.
Mhm.
I have big chunks that mean nothing. That I won't remember, Jack. I'm like, who? What day is whip on me?
It's filed under miscellaneous.
And my miscellaneous file is a room. True. Now, the running joke is my husband is my memory.
Mm.
I I literally tell him, remind me to do this. Remind me to this. He does that. He will literally say, when you come home, bring some milk. Right? That's the example. Okay. Text me to remind me to do that. Cool. He texts me. I say, okay. I came home without the milk. Because I forgot that fast from the text to when I got off the train. And this has been happens multiple times.
I was doing so good. Oh,
Sorry.
I was doing so good.
I'm trying to tell the truth. I'm trying to tell the truth.
Yes,
Now,
she is. Yes, she is.
so what makes that funny? And Sheila's known this for years. Anybody who's known me for longer than 2 months understands this. So, what made this journey freaking hilarious is literally you could go back to episode 1 of when she started the Quran that I remember the Bible specifically, dang near to the verse. I could at least get the book, sometime the chapter. That I will remember. She will say something. I said, "Oh, that's like such, 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 such." She'll say the next thing. No, that's this, that, and the third. She'll say the next thing. Oh, that's this. Oh, I remember that because that was over here. It is. No, I mean from New Testament to Old Testament. You name it, I'm remembering it. And we're both like,
She interrupts me a lot, and that's cracks me to crack up
mm-hmm,
because I'm like, and I've said this to other people too, and it's like, yeah, she don't normally remember a lot of stuff, but all of a sudden, it's like reading the Quran. It's got her and I, but her more so. like having to gravitate back to the Bible. It's like
Hmm.
more of a so like the Quran has become like more of a study
On the
podcast with us.
Bible.
Yeah,
Hmm.
where you're
And
like,
no, and all your and people out there, no, I am not cheating by reading on the weekend. During the week and stuff. Yes, I am doing my quiet time, but I'm on a completely different schedule because I'm doing with my church and my Bible study group. The stuff that she talk about, I ain't doing right now. I'm in Nehemiah. So
we ain't in this in
no,
my church. No,
mm-mm. So this is just purely on my weird memory. So
yeah,
I
church.
don't know what's
We're
going
going through the New Testament. We're literally in Matthew and Mark right now.
on. We're literally in Nehemiah.
No.
So I'm just like, and then that don't mean what that. And mind you, that's Bible study. That's not even what Pastor preaching on, because he going through his own thing. So like I said, very interesting, very thing. Because every time she says something pop in my head, I'll be like that, or at least it remind me of something. To the point of this one over here trying to get through it, dying laughing because how? Because I'm like, I know she gonna say something, and I will stop her. Like the last episode, I will stop her. I was like, no, this is like this, and they should have did this like this, and Moses, and da 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 da. Next slide, Moses.
Oh, that
I
was
forgot
mad
what she
funny.
said. I forgot what
Oh,
she said.
oh, that was mad funny. I was like, wait, stop, stop. Let me read the next line. Because literally she like said, what ain't that like? I was like, Lord. Yeah, that was hilarious. Oh, where's
I
my water
was like,
bottle?
I went off, and it was hilarious. What?
Oh, I drank it all.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm looking at my water bottle. I'm like, it helps with the coughing.
No, I understand that. That's why I got this cup. And it makes perfect sense. I said that was funny though.
And I was like, where? Oh, no, because I thought it was behind my laptop. No, it's not.
Mhm.
It's gone.
So that would be probably this episode again, or maybe
Most
not.
likely.
We probably don't. We never know because
I haven't read it yet, so.
yeah, and yeah, I don't know either because I would look back at some of these episodes and I'll be like, you think we look professional and put together? Well, we are literally making this up as we go along. We
Well,
ain't
thank
got
you.
no we ain't got no script. We got a
Not
loose
me.
thing.
Yeah.
We no script like what we're
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
We we have a loose schedule that it changes for whenever we feel like it. Half the time we sit there, we don't even know what we're gonna talk about. Shoot, half the time I'm sorry, I don't know how I feel because it's in the morning and I'm not awake yet. It takes me a good minute to wake up. And like I said, if you know me, you know how that is. It takes me a minute. I'm not awake in the morning. I will look like I'm awake. My eyes be open. I be having a conversation with you. I'm dead asleep. Sheila knows this. She seen me do it. And then I come
Yeah, a
back
few
20
folks
minutes.
do it. Hmm.
Right. I come back 20 minutes later after I fully woken up and been caffeinated. It's like, oh, what were we talking about? You be like, when we had a whole conversation. We did. When? Was I there? I can't lie.
Oh, my Lord. This child. Yes, she's correct.
Mm-mm. Oh, I've been getting with everybody at work at that too, because they be laughing at me. I said, you want me to lie to you? I can lie to you, but I'm not going to remember the lie, so why am I going to lie to you? They've been dying. They're like, oh, we like you. You get to stay. Because
Keeping it real, keeping it real.
that's like, I can lie to you. But I'm like, no, I don't know. No. So I figured I should take it as a compliment that everybody think I've been there forever. And I'm like, y'all remember I literally just started in March? Oh yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't know. No.
It's like, I'm not here. I'm new. I just don't act new
No, because I can fake it till I make it, and which what I'm doing.
because she's a professional.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't her first rodeo. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. So that's funny. Okay. So now, normally this part is called stats. We ain't got
Uh,
none. We if you want to know the explanation, go back to the other episode. Anyway, I ain't even going into that today. No, what? Why am I explaining it again? Episode 4.
she right. Get to get.
I'm no. I am buying. I'm buying. That's not the word. I am trying to be more true to myself and say the
Mm,
words that I mean instead of
mm,
saying the words that'll, soothe your ego.
true, true, true.
Because I realize I work with a lot of personalities. I got the younger folk, right? Then I got the folks that are my age that are still students. They're still a little, you know. mm,
Lost in the sauce?
yeah, there you go.
Mm,
Then, then you have the levels of colleagues
mm.
because you got the entry level, the mid level, the high level, the presidents. And just because they think they got some letters behind their name and maybe a doctor in front, they more important than you. Oh, all that means is you passed the test. But that don't make you better than me because you can pass a test. But some people think they are because they passed the test, and I'm here to put them in their place.
Kindly.
Oh, very kindly, I am always. I will be a genteel lady. Because I will be a Southern Belle in front of your face, and you don't even know I'm insulting you. I'm like,
she'll
bless
give you
your
that.
heart.
She'll give you that Southern West Indian attitude real quick.
Oh, very much so. Because I'm like, no. And that's why I said I'm learning to navigate it and see because a lot of people, when they have those letters and that doctor thinking they're more than what they are.
It's something to be proud of because you earned it for yourself, but it does not mean that you have somehow climbed the ladder of humanity.
That is the part that I am talking about. I
Mm.
will probably call you doctor. I'm like, yeah, Doctor So and So, how you
You
doing?
earned it.
Fill out your
I ain't got to
paperwork,
say it every time.
right? But fill out your paperwork properly that you've had done all the time. But you can't sign your name in the right spot. You can't give it to me when I ask you. You can't answer an email. You don't know how your phone works. I gotta help you with your cell phone every time.
You know, they always say those who have higher accolades are generally slower on mundane things. And
Mm-hmm.
I've come to find that to happen often because they studied so hard on certain stuff and avenues, they just forgot everything else.
Yes. So don't talk down to me when I am helping you with the mundane things that you cannot do.
Hmm.
That is what I am saying. Not that I will
Hmm.
not call you Dr. So and so. I will call you Dr. So and so. Do not talk down to me. I am helping you. Oh, you want to talk down to me? Do it your damn self.
Uh-huh. Somehow I just remembered I have something else to do.
Because that always happens with you. Because our brains just do that.
Oh, you know what? I got a meeting. Sorry, I got to go. Peace. I have other tasks that are assigned to me first. So if I can get through my task first, I might be able to have time to help you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Whew. Let's get out.
Bye bye.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. I was like, I don't mind helping, but you're not going to abuse me for that. Oh, that was another thing that I found on TikTok. Following
Mm.
the people, the bad bosses and how to deal with them. Oh, I love watching those videos. It's like, oh, this is how you professionally say, stay in your lane.
Yeah, I like those. Mm.
Oh, I love those. Oh, let me explain to you why this boss is stupid. And they
Mhm.
stupid because they put it in writing too.
Mm,
Oh,
mm, mm,
mm.
mm,
Because
mhm.
I tell all my students and everybody, I said the first little piece of decoration that I got from my desk where I said it says, did you document it?
Hello.
Because if you didn't document it, it didn't happen. So when your teacher, your professor, your this, that, your boss is like, did you document it? Oh, you did? So take it to the higher ups.
Thank you.
Yeah,
She's
so I was
speaking
like,
truth, people. Always my favorite word. Cover your assets. Or see my favorite phrase. Cover your assets.
mm-hmm. So that's why I said, I was like, nope, that's the first thing I got. I was like, mm-hmm. Even my other coworker, she's like, yeah, that was the first piece of dinner. And you always like that. I'm like, yeah, 'cause I don't trust people. Because they will
Mm-mm.
say one thing and do something else.
And there are plenty of people who are hella forgetful or consciously forgetful.
Mm-hmm. It's that selective learning, selective hearing, selective, I don't want to do that. Hmm. And I work in academia, and they have a lot of selective everything. Yeah, y'all selected to be remote when you should be in the office. Y'all selected not to answer the email, even though I emailed you 3 times, and it's a
Mm,
timestamp in there, and I gave you a timely manner to do that. That follows up with a phone call, and you don't know how to answer that either. Oh, that's because you're remote and you don't answer your phone because it's at work. And you don't know how to put the call forwarding on so you can actually answer those calls.
Oh my god,
But then
really?
get mad at me because you're late with your stuff, even though I reminded you 3 times.
They don't have Teams?
We have things.
And you can't
They
stalk
don't
them on Teams?
they don't answer. They don't log in. Thank you.
See, that's why with certain people, I will put in Outlook, like where you how where Outlook says I want a receipt that it was read.
Hmm.
Also, depending on who it is, I know. I will go ahead and put that on just so I can make sure
Oh no
they
no no.
read it. I
Oh
got
no.
receipt you read it, even if you didn't reply to me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if they read, they won't reply.
But
Oh,
that's my receipt. You read it.
oh no. The receipt is I sent it that you got it. So you know, it's like no 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 no. I understand what you're saying, but in this world, like um, even if you have the receipts on that they read it and they don't answer, I have one professor.
Mm,
Everybody called him and nobody answered, and he didn't answer.
mm.
Secretary called him. Oh wait, student, secretary, everybody
You
until the
alive?
uh huh until the dean sent him something. He answers the dean only. That's the
I know those type of people.
that's the entitlement I am speaking of, not the
That's why
regular.
I
Oh,
just
the GD did and stuff like that. It's like
since I already know you're not gonna answer me, I'm gonna CC your boss on it anyway.
mm. Oh, even if you CC, that's not gonna work. It has to come from him. Maybe he'll answer it that day. Oh no, I got. Oh, when I tell you, girl, about the entitlement of the people in
Mm,
this organization,
mm.
it'll piss you off because you're like, no, 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 you can't. We can no because it's coming from the top down. It is not like basically they have been getting away with stuff for so long. Hmm. They think they're untouchable now. I'm like, I'm not the one.
So let me send my boss a notice of what I've noticed in the trends. Could you go call his boss and make sure that if from moving
Hmm.
forward I get this, so I can get that when I answer it, so I can get this process? Could you go tell his boss that he needs to answer his boss and me now? Thank you.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh, I've asked my boss to do stuff like that. I'm like, "Oh,
Hmm.
help us out."
Oh no, understandable. That's why
Uh-uh.
it's been some things that I've learned and understand. There's certain things that was because that particular professor wasn't my department, so I know to stay
Mm,
in my lane, so I stay in my department because I'm getting to know all of my faculty. I know all the full timers. I'm
mm,
about to start popping up on the adjuncts,
mm, 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 mm,
so they
mm.
will know who I am because I need my paperwork done and they haven't done it yet.
That's also like one of those moments where it kind of shows you, like, sometimes you got to pray extra hard for a specific person. Like,
Hmm.
Lord, I'm going to need you to send the spirit of consciousness
Hmm.
and beat it down on this person so that they recognize
Oh,
me.
oh yes, understandable. And I'm just like, because it's, you know what also the thing is that I pray for and that's helped and you will understand a lot.
Mm,
My temper has gotten so much better because I realized that working at this job is like, not that, okay, this is back to the last episode again, so y'all not go back there. That I have the mask on and
mm.
I could do all these things, but I have not had the feeling or the invitation to curse anybody out yet. And that's saying a lot for me because I will, because as Sheila will say, even if my words do not say curse out, my eyeballs will. My face with it is. It's like this face. Mm-mm. I've called the close I got into calling this a little twit. Call little students these little nuts. Well, they little twit because I didn't like what they did because they circumvented and they broke, not broke the rules, but found a loophole to get out of doing the work they were supposed to do. I don't like that.
Like, I applaud your ingenuity, but that was still foul.
Exactly. So, but Because I went in and I said, first thing I said to my boss, I said, off the record, I don't like this person. Let me explain to you why. Da-da-da. Okay, back on the record. This is what happened. She just laughs at me now. She's like, "You did what now?"
Mm,
That's why I said that. And I'm like, "Look, there you go. Okay." But
mm, I
so
get
but I'm like, but it's like she will tell you of knowing me for years and how bad my temper is. I am doing very well
yes.
of not cursing people out. Because I will curse you out this on a train station.
Yes.
And I
Don't
gotta
get her
see.
started on the don't get her started on the MTA, please. Please, just don't.
I'm
Please don't.
sorry, it's the bane of my existence and I have to use it
Mm.
every day.
We're already 40 minutes in. We do not have 2 hours. Let's go. Uh-uh.
I'm not talking about them. But yeah, and I'm like, I am being proud of myself of learning to take care of myself and not letting them people get to me where I'm gonna have to curse you out. And even Sheila will be proud of this. I have learned the walk away method.
Mhm.
Like, oh, wait a minute, you're gonna talk like that to me? Exit stage left. Because I'm like, no, I don't need to be in this situation anymore. So I don't
Nope.
have to be here. You're gonna speak like that? I'm leaving. I
Mm,
will turn my music back up. Like, oh,
mhm,
like even my therapist was proud of me like this. So I get to the office first
mhm,
because everybody has a later schedule than I do. Because they say later. Because at 5 o'clock I'm out. Deuces. So I get there. I get my little thing. Uh, not Febreze. Sanitize my workstation because there'd be too many people in and out. Wipe it down. Get my little music on, and I will sigh before work.
mhm.
So I've been doing that good. And then the people come in and try to irritate me. Just because that's their life mission and they don't know any better. But since I've been doing that,
Uh,
it has helped me be more zen and more humble and
yeah,
less
good.
likely to cuss you out. There you go,
Mm,
sent it. Less
mm.
likely to cuss you out.
Sometimes it's important, girl.
Oh yeah, it's been really good because I'm like, because most people start like they do one starts at 10 and then the next one starts at 10:30, 11. She'll
Okay.
sometimes come in early if she has to, but they start later because they stay later.
Yeah, they trickle in.
Exactly, because they stay. I'm like, I have no problem with that. 5 o'clock.
Don't ask me for nothing.
Mm-mm.
Send me an email. I'll get it done tomorrow. See you.
Exactly, because I'm like, I don't play that. I'm not staying for no reason. Yeah,
We're about to work the same amount of hours. You're not about to have me do extra.
exactly. And I learn, and I'm semi learning
Mm,
because it's still me and I can't completely do that. Is to clock out mentally. Now, we did know Sheila about that last episode. She don't know how to do that. And that's only because Sheila's brain is Willy Wonka's factory and it's always working 24/7 because she will come up with an idea of an idea of an idea. And the thing is, she's not one of those people that just comes up with ideas. She's a doer. So she will do said idea. And if it's not in her wheelhouse, she will give it to somebody else to do. Case in point, this podcast. Three, 4 years ago, this child woke me out my sleep.
Not 3, 4 years ago. It's 11 years ago. I don't know how she get 3 or 4 years ago.
I don't know, cause I can't tell time. You want me to lie? I can lie. I'm not lying. Whatever, 11 years ago, whenever we started this new podcast.
Oh, the
Okay?
podcast part. Yeah. Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. Not the whole godly spiritually. I'm talking about literally the podcast.
Yeah. I think the
That was
podcast
three, four
was.
years. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're right. You think you're right.
Yeah,
Mhm,
about 3, 4 years. Now, she woke me up my sleep said, okay, we were doing a prayer meeting. That's cool. Now,
yeah.
it's not
Hmm.
as good because people dropped out. Understandable. We're going to keep doing it. So, but what happened is, oh, you are good at computers. You should do a website. And we're going to put this on this. Okay, so we did the website first. Oh, that's good. This is
Met an
good.
awesome author.
Met an awesome author, promoted her book. Unfortunately, she passed away. That
She
hurt.
went home. Hmm.
So we got this and we did the things. It's like, yeah, this is good. We should do a podcast. Actually, here was a funny thing. No, this is those specific memories. I remember I told her that. What
Because
happened
we
was,
started off with YouTube and Facebook.
right, what happened was we were recording the prayers and stuff. And so I told her, I said, you know what? We were having one of these deep conversations with our jibber jabber.
She said this should be recorded.
I was like, we should record these because we were having some deep philosophical. Oh my God, it was so deep. You thought we were high. We wasn't high. One of them spiritual highs they show you on TV. It was one of them. And I was like, dang, we should record this because that was good. That just got me going. And da da da. Come to find out, after I said this fleeting statement, go back to last episode where she explained to you how a fleeting statement turns into something she does. We now have a podcast. Because
Podcast, an email, a blog, Facebook page,
mm-hmm, and that
t-shirts.
and that and that finally she said she could do it because she is techie, but not as techie as
No,
I
no,
am.
not at all.
I literally have degree in tech.
Yes, she
So
does.
she said, Gwendolyn, figure this out. Why?
Because she can. And she's good
Okay.
at it. And God still uses her for it to this
hmm
day.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. Why are you making me do this? I have to fight tooth and nail before I actually do something because I am hard headed. When I say she bugged me, and she bugged me, and she bugged me, and then God bugged me, and now we have a
Mm.
podcast.
Oh, that's just like that other doctor. You bug, this person bugged, that person tried to contact them, that person had to come all the way up to the top. And then she did it. I don't know why that came an analogy for me because I was
Oh
just like,
no,
wait.
look, I know how hard headed they get, and I understand that, but it's just like,
Yeah. But she did the same when we had to go back to graduate school. So
oh, I was fighting on that. Oh, I fought hard. Oh,
she
see,
did
now that remind me of the Bible story of
because we still got to write a book. So hey,
Oh, that'll be down the line. I know that.
yeah.
That will fight. No, I'm trying to remember the Bible story. What is the Bible story of dude fighting him? I think it was Paul, but fighting him said, "Pat, take the plank out my side or the thorn out my side," and he touched him on the hip, said, "You got to deal with that
Ah,
now."
okay, I
Mm-hmm.
have an idea of what you're talking about, but I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
know what I'm
exactly
talking
which
about.
verse.
I
Right.
just can't remember it completely fully, but yes, I see that. That's basically was me fighting God because he was wrestling with God all night about taking the pain out his side, and he messed up his hip.
2 Corinthians verse 12. Paul's vision and his thorn.
Thank you. I knew. I see. I said Paul. I think it was Paul and the thorn, and I said plank because I was thinking about the eyeball. But no, it was the thorn in the side. Yep. See, that's
See,
what I'm
that's
talking
exactly
about.
what
How we remember stuff.
yes. We both were like, yeah, that's exactly.
I don't normally do that, people. I
A-
really don't. This is
And
started
when
when we started the Quran.
I'm telling you, and when we now what you probably might have noticed that we've been taking it by 30 verses at a time. I make it a point to get to 30 verses. So bear with us today.
Okay, hold on. No, you gonna pray first, or you just gonna go straight
Yes.
in?
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna pray. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna bow
No,
your head. I'm
no,
waiting for you to
I'm
get your
asking.
teeth.
Oh no, I
Don't
was.
get the
That's why I was
table in.
reaching over. I was, reaching over. That's why I was asking the question like I did.
I know.
Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Please,
God,
close your eyes and bow your head.
thank you, Gwen. God is always in control, people. So we put out this understanding that He is good, He's gracious, He is awesome. And if you have a need, if you have a desire, if you just want to say thank you, do so today, not tomorrow, today, not later this afternoon, now. Because God is always on your side. You are His child, He's on your side. If you are broken, if you're silent because you fear, no, God is always going to give you the strength to persevere. We are beyond grateful that we have this opportunity, this platform to do the will that God has designed us to do. This is the spiritual journey that we are on, and we can't be more grateful because we have this opportunity. We are starting to see different examples of what God is having us do. With Gwen at her job, where she's being utilized as a messenger just to touch and speak and glow. I mean, the opportunity that God is putting her in is 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 magnificent in the fact that every semester there's always going to be somebody new or coming back that needs that breath that God has bestowed upon her to blow upon them. Same with myself. I see it, I feel it. And that cannot be if we were not obedient. We're grateful for these trials and tribulations. Even though at the moment when we're in the trenches, we're like, why am I fighting this? But at
Mhm.
the end of that fight, you're like, oh, okay. You still dusting off that dirt, but oh, okay. God has got you. God is always going to be in control if you allow God to lead the life He has given to you, for you to live. Every life has a purpose. You may not see it in that instant, but it has a purpose. God's purpose. As we move into the Quran today, we're going to learn more, but again, from a perspective of believers, and we're going to be unbiased about it, as always, because God is going to teach us something always. I mean, every time so far, it's always been a teaching, a reflection, and we're grateful for that. So I want all of you right now to just bow your heads and be grateful that God is good and God is always in control. You are never alone. We are humbly before his throne. Brothers and sisters, let us all say amen and
Amen.
amen.
Okay, now before you start, oh no, uno momento. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do this. All
All
right, there we go. Okay, go ahead. Whew.
right, so now that we prayed, now we're going to go back into the Surah. We're still in chapter 2, just simply because it's the longest chapter of the Quran with more verses than Psalm 119, if you believe it or not. So we are
That's
following up
actually
where
very
we left
hard.
off, girl. We're following off where we left off last time. So now we're at verse 96, and it starts off like this. And will you find them the most covetous of people for life, as well as among those who associate others, one of them wishing he could be granted 1,000 years of life, but it would not budge him away from the punishment, even if he should be granted life and God is contentious of what they do. So say, whoever is an enemy to Gabriel, then indeed he brought it down into your heart by the permission of God, confirming what was before it and a guidance of good news for the believers. Whoever is an enemy to God, his angels, his messengers, Gabriel and Michael, right?
Hold.
Then, mm,
I don't know how this connects, but it does. Job, how God tested him with his stuff
mm,
and got all the evil out of his life
hmm
by doing all the things that God said, no, all these are bad, but Job is good.
Oh yeah,
Continue. Hmm.
yeah. She got a good connection, people. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw. Look. This is how my brain work. We don't know. This is
I got
God.
it though. I
This is a
got you.
God thing. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, he was like, oh, it was like that dust thing you said earlier, good dust in and dust off, and that what he doing right there. Yeah,
Girl.
I got the
True, true,
connection.
true.
Go ahead, please continue.
In the trench. Michael, then indeed God is an enemy to the disbelievers.
Oh, we said that verse before too. Oh,
Yes, we
what
have.
was that? That was Psalm 21, I think. Yeah, that was that one.
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
I actually really think it's Psalm 21 for once. I don't remember the actual verse. I remember the chapter. Why my brain like that? What? I'm be quiet now.
just go with the flow, child. Just go with the
Mm-hmm.
flow. And we have certainly revealed to you verses as proof, but none disbelieve in them except the immoral.
Pharisees and doubting Thomas.
Hmm. Or is it whenever they make an agreement, a group among them discard it? In fact, most of them do not believe.
Pharisees. I
And
say it
when
all the time.
and when a messenger from God came to them confirming what was with them, a group of them, those who were given the book, discarded the book of God behind their backs as if they did not know, like God can't see, and they followed what the devils had recited during the reign of Solomon. And Solomon did not disbelieve, but the devils who disbelieved taught the people sorcery together with what was revealed to the two angels at
Wolf,
Babel.
sorry, wolves in sheep clothing. Beware of false teachers.
Mm. Harat and Morat, and the two did not teach anyone unless they said, "We are only a trial, so do not disbelieve." Hmm. So they learnt from them both what causes separation between a man and his wife, and they cannot harm anyone with it except by the permission of God. And they learnt what harms them and does not benefit them. And they certainly know that whoever buys it will have no positive quality in the hereafter, and wretched is what they trade their souls for.
Hold it.
If only they knew.
Hold.
Mm,
Back to Job. The devil literally asked God for permission to harm his faithful servant, thinking that he will turn against him to be able to
mm,
say
mm-hmm,
and curse God because
mm-hmm.
he knew better than God. God
He did the
said,
same thing with Jesus. Got permission.
same thing. He with Jesus got permission.
Hmm.
Same thing going over of what he's saying. And it's like God says, I know my servant. My servant is good. It'll just show the way of, like you said, of the bad going away. And that's it. There you go.
That's a
Continue.
good analogy though, because I am pausing myself, but that's a good analogy though, because a lot of people don't see that connections when they
Mm-hmm.
read the Quran. But I think when from what I've watched online, but I like how you are catching stuff.
Yeah. Because this is the way it's coming to me.
Hmm.
Because I am seeing not like okay, when we did the first chapter, the first verse, I went verse for verse.
Yeah, because that was
Now
just like one little bitty little thing.
right. Now it is more of understanding the overarching idea of what it is and how you see the connections of what God meant.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's more of what I'm saying. Now, this is why I know you pointed to Jesus and I'm sticking on Job because the way they're describing it, and this is a lot of ways that people don't understand Job. Job is like, oh, it
Mm,
was just God testing his people. That's why he just tests us, tests us, tests us. No,
mhm.
God was using Job to show him how much evil was in his life that he could not see because he thought they were a friend. That's where I got the sheep's and wolf clothing. I mean,
True,
the
true,
wolves and
true, true.
sheep's clothing.
Mhm.
His life was hard during the time, but it was better in the end because he
True.
knew who true family, his true people were, and the
Mhm.
people that needed to be there.
True, 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 true.
That's where I'm
10
getting from.
103.
Hmm.
And if only they had believed and became pious, they would have been rewarded. Excuse me, pious.
I was
They
going to
would
ask you
have,
what that was.
sorry, became pious. They would have been rewarded the best from God. If only they knew. Oh, oh, you who believe, do not say, be our shepherd, but say, observe us and listen. And for the disbelievers is a painful punishment. Neither those who disbelieve among the people of the book. Now, the book is supposed to be the Tanakh and the New Testament, nor the polytheists wish that any good should be sent down to you from your Lord. But God specifies his mercy to whomever he wills. For God possesses great favor.
So basically, just like when they were lost in the desert, God will bless you because you needed to be blessed, not because you're a stiff necked people and you hard headed and don't listen. Now, it's not only just for you, it is for everybody. So don't think, just like we said before, what you got a doctor in front of you and thinking you're better than me. We are all the same when it comes to God's eyes. Thank you. Move on.
Mhm. 106. Whatever we transcribed of a sign or cause it causes it to be forgotten, we bring one good then one better than it, or to like the like of it. Do not you do not know that God is capable of all things, don't you? Do you not know that to God belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth? And you have to you have no guardian, no helper besides God. Or do you intend to ask your messenger as Moses was asked before? But whoever exchanges the faith for disbelief, then he has strayed from the straight way.
I can
And
say
many
that. Oh,
mm,
sorry.
go
Pause.
go go.
I can say that as a cultural thing. Oh, actually, hold on. Nope. It's literally this thing because I am looking at my phone. I'm not cheating. But I have the type of personality and stuff. It's kind of like ADHD. I have to be doing something with my hands to concentrate on the main thing that I'm doing. This is why when fidget spinners came out, love them things. Now, basically, what she just said is what this T-shirt said, and I kind of want. Just because I'm awake does not mean I'm ready to do things.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
because of one thing does not mean I'm ready to do something. And you are trying to tell God what He is supposed to do when you are ready. But it is, as we always say, not on your time, on His time. And He is telling you to
Hello?
do His time. But you think, as most people in society nowadays think, oh, He's not answering me right now. He didn't do it. It's like, you're not ready for it yet.
Hello? Hello?
You gotta be ready for it. There's not a correct Bible verse in it. Like, He's like, why is He silent? Why is He this? He ain't silent. He been working. It's that you don't know it yet because you ain't ready. Please
Mhm.
continue.
109. And many of the people of the book wish they could revert you to disbelievers after your faith out of envy from their
Hmm.
souls after what? has become clear to them of the truth. So, excuse and pardon until God brings his command, indeed God, because he is capable of all things. Now, I'm going to stop for a second because that kind of makes me think of a lot of the people who, like, towards the New Testament, that, during, like, years after the death of Christ, how you had a lot who were converting into the way of the law of
Mhm.
Jesus. How you had a lot of other Jews who were like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I need you to stop thinking what you're thinking. No, he's not real. No, he was not the Messiah. No, he was not the Son of God. Stop, stop, stop. Come back, come back. I need you to stop believing what we already all saw.
Mhm.
Because no, that's not the faith that I need you to follow.
Mhm.
Come back to the, come back to us. Stop believing in that. Even though we kind of sort of believe what you were saying.
Mhm. Mine wasn't that biblical, but what we were been saying. No, no, no. This is the same. Now, see, that's why my brain goes to comes and all that stuff. Oh, basically, what it is that what we were saying before, because they were so stubborn, they had to hear it from them, their friend, the other friend, this one leader, that leader, this, till God came down and smacked them, and then they still didn't want to leave the belief because they wanted to stay in their comfort zone of what they thought was right
Mhm.
and what was easier for them.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the problem is with the New Testament and everything else, and Jesus coming down, they realized, oh, it's not. Even though both ways were the same and hard, this
Mhm.
is going to be even harder for me because I now have to pay attention.
Mhm.
And that was
Mhm.
the problem that they were giving. This is why I said
Mhm.
I'm getting the overall arcing thing,
Mhm. Mhm.
and stuff like that. That's why I was like, oh, these are the stiff neck people that are not listening.
Mhm.
And I say, and back to what I said last week. These them same stiff neck people that God literally came down and told you and gave you the pow pow, like you said, and y'all still made a golden calf.
I
Gave you the pow
mean, that's why
pow.
they mentioned Moses. And be like, come on now,
Oh no, that's why.
you gonna keep asking?
Right, gave you the pow pow. Gave you the lout. You saw the glory on his face, and y'all still wanted to go back to Egypt. What's wrong with you? Please continue.
110. So establish the litany and give the charity, and whatever you send forth for your souls of good will find it. You will find it with God. Indeed, God is contingent of what you do. And they say, none will enter the garden except one who is a Jew or a Christian. These are
And
their
that goes to that
desires.
respectability politics that they be doing in these churches and stuff. Oh, you can't go in there because you don't cover your head. I explained that in the last episode why we cover our head because we do it out
Hmm.
because we want to.
Hmm.
Oh no, you got locks. Oh no, you're wearing pants. That's sacrilege. Look,
Nope.
shut up. All of you, shut it up. Because he ain't never said that. He ain't never said that in two different books. So shut it up.
Okay, so because I didn't finish the verse, Gwen just
Oh, I'm
actually
sorry.
she kind of technically finished the verse, but I'm gonna still say it.
Oh, I did it again. Oh, I'm
Uh
sorry.
huh.
I had to.
You should say to them, bring your proof if you are truthful. Verse 112.
Wait. Yo, all of y'all people,
No,
we had this disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. If you have made it this far, I didn't lie.
no.
I didn't lie. I have said the truth and all of these things. This is funny. I don't know what
It's
God got.
common sense for one. That's what it is.
Oh,
It
I
it
know it
it.
is. But I'm just saying. I'm
Mhm.
saying God is using me for some way because my memory don't come out this good. Not to play connect the dots with Job.
No. True, 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 true.
That's what I'm
I
saying. Oh, the
I can
common sense
attest to
about the
this.
clothes and stuff that because you know that's a irritant of mine of like I can't come to
It
wear
is
one.
because just
Oh,
because you
because
call yourself a Jew and just because you call yourself a Christian, quote, quote, to
mm-hmm,
tell me what I have to do, to tell me that this is the only way someone's going to get into the kingdom of heaven.
mm-hmm,
That's insane to me because when I used to hear side note, when I used to hear other parishioners when I was
mm-hmm,
growing up would say, "Oh, only those who believe in Jesus will get into heaven." But the revelation in Revelations chapter 7 don't say that. Okay?
exactly. Oh, and
It
then
literally says 144,000 Jews.
right then. Oh, it was funny. This is a side note tangent. Okay,
Mm,
so like
mm,
I got my roommate into the church.
mm,
Right
mm, mm.
now, here was the funny part. Well, going back to the thing that we were literally just saying. I It took me a good minute until she literally showed up and saw people that I said, no, we are a true come as you are church because she trained, raised by her grandmother, raised Catholic. You go in a dress, shoes, your hair did, the whole nine.
It's a cultural thing. It's cultural.
It's a cultural thing. And I tried to
Mhm.
explain to her, do no. Because she had saw me one day. She's like, "Ooh, you going out?" So, oh, I said, "No, I went to church." Because I was
Mhm,
wearing this nice dress. It was one of them summer bodycon dresses.
mhm.
And she's like, "Oh, so you came home and changed?"
No.
No, this is how I went to church. Seriously,
Uh, uh,
blew her mind till she came to the church and went,
oh.
"Oh, y'all really meant that."
Uh, uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that
Mm.
was one of them things that and me in my head because Sheila knows it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like that because
So she's never
it's
gonna
just
go to a
come as
church
a.
like that.
Oh, I will go the first time,
Yeah, and
and
then
then
she
I'll
won't go
leave.
back to back. Then she won't go
No,
back
I
to
will
back.
never come back.
No.
Never set foot in there again. It's like you tell me what? Okay, bye now. No, because no, y'all ain't real.
It's not real for her because I will say
Yeah,
this.
I was
There
about to
are
say real in my mind.
yeah, yeah. Because I will say this that there are some churches that will have that, you'll see people wear dress a certain way, but they still will accept you and not critique you. That's when you know, okay, you for reals.
Right. See, you're not critiquing me, but the churches that I've been in that said they dress a certain way, do a certain thing,
Yep, yep,
they
mm,
talk down to you, say you are
yep,
not right. That
yep.
is the part I don't like. That's the
Not a
part that
fan.
makes me. That's the part that made me leave for
Yep,
so
not
long.
a fan for that. No, because you're too worried about my clothing versus my heart and my spirit.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And that's why I was getting at that I interrupted you on the think tank side.
No, cool. Verse 112. Indeed, whoever submits his aim to God while being benevolent, then he will have his reward at his Lord, and they will be no fear upon them, nor will he or will they grieve. And the Jews say, the Christians are not upon anything, while the Christians say, the Jews are not upon anything.
Are you apostolic or you stoic or you Baptist, non-denominational, Pentecostal? Oh, you ain't
Orthodox,
doing right,
non-Orthodox.
but oh, you ain't doing right because you only supposed to read the red letters. No, you only supposed to read the blue letters, and no, you only supposed to read it on third Sunday with a blue moon to the left.
Yep.
Sorry.
And then it goes, are they are not upon anything, and they recite the book? Hmm. Likewise, did those who do not know say the like of their statement? But God, you see, God will judge between them on the day of resurrection concerning what they have been disputing. Why are you disputing? And who is more unjust than one who prevents the mosques of God from the mentioning his name therein and strives in their ruin? Those it is not for them to enter them, except in fear. For them to disgrace in the world, and they will have a terrible punishment in the hereafter. Now, what I get with this one, it's again something that I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
Why I gotta bother you, or you're gonna pray? What my business is? If I ain't going into your synagogue, if I'm not going into your temple, your church, your mosque, why do I need to critique anything that you are doing when I'm trying to bow my head and on my knees supplicate to my God?
Take the plank out your eye before you worry about the speck in mine.
Yep, yep. And to God belongs the east and the west. So
Mm-hmm.
wherever you turn, there is the continent of God. Indeed, God is encompassing and omnipotent. So why
That
can't
mean
God have it all?
everything.
And they said, God is a son. Oh, excuse me. God has a son. Glory be to him. In fact, to him belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earth. They all yield to him.
So basically, hold.
Mm.
So basically, it's the same reason why I can come up with all these things that are connected to that they said and say the same thing in two different books. So just because it's two different books, two different ways of looking at it, two different technically religions, which is a societal thing,
Mm,
we mean the same thing. We are saying the
mhm,
same thing. We are doing the same thing. He said
mm.
it there, he said it there, and he said it again. That's what he said. So please listen to him and get out my business.
Hella marvelous of the heavens and the earth. And whenever he issues a command, then he alone says to it, be, and it becomes. And who and those who do not know say, why does God not speak to us? What Gwen was saying earlier,
Listen,
or a sign come to us.
why? Oh, Jesus said, why do you need all these signs and wonders? Didn't you hear on the first time?
Mm, mm. Likewise, did those before them say the like of their statement? Their hearts are similar. We have clarified the verses to people who are certain.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, we have sent you with the truth as a herald and a warner, and you will not be questioned about the companions of hell.
Mm-hmm. Basically, we sent you a bunch of messengers that gave you the truth, but for some reason you didn't want to listen and you kept killing them. That was your fault.
Enjoy purgatory. Um, and never, excuse me, 120, and never will the Jews nor the Christians be
Mm-mm.
pleased with you. Now, this is all, of course, generalized,
Mm.
unless you follow their creed. Say, indeed, the guidance of God is the guidance. And if you follow their inclinations after what has come to you of the knowledge, you would have no guardian, no helper against God. You're free.
Mm-hmm.
Those to whom we have given the book, which they recite, its true recitation, those will believe in it. And whoever disbelieves in it, then they are those who are the losers. O children of Israel, remember my blessing, which I have bestowed upon you, and that I favored you over all the people, God said. So beware of a day no soul will be rewarded by another soul at all,
In
nor will.
English, hold
Oh,
on.
go ahead, go.
In English, your legalistic ways will not get you a ticket to heaven. No matter how many rules you create, follow, and do to the T, will not get you into heaven. This is not the way. Another person, human being, cannot get you into heaven. Your acts will not get you into heaven. Jesus, yes, he came down and he was flesh, but he was not fully flesh. That's why he died and rose again. He can get you into heaven, not the person standing next to you. Because he told his followers, who you would think that were the closest to him, to understand they were in the glory, but they still denied him. They will not get you into heaven.
Where
Thank you,
was
Jesus.
I? Oh.
Sorry, that you know how this go.
I know. Nor will, I'm still on 123,
Hmm.
nor will amendment be accepted from it, nor will intercession benefit it, nor will they be helped. And when Abraham was tested by his Lord with the words, and he fulfilled them, he said, indeed, I will make you a leader of mankind. He said, and of my descendants. He said, my agreement will not reach the transgressors. And then we made the house a resort of mankind and security. So take a place of prayer from the place of Abraham. For we entrusted Abraham and Ishmael that purify my house for those who roam and those who abide and bow down in supplication.
Basically,
120. Oh, go ahead.
sorry. Basically, for the people who listen and obey, these are the people that will come to pass. These are the people that will ascend, not the people who act and placate and pretend that
Mm,
they are righteous. But the
mm,
ones who truly are, they truly do what I say when I
mm,
say it,
mm,
not even the stubborn ones, because eventually they do as I say. You can go
mm,
back to Jonah and the whale. He ran from God. He got sucked up in the whale. He said, all right, I got to what you said. I'm going to go back. You have countless stories of him using broken people to understand what it is to do. They will get it.
mm,
You and your Pharisees following the law and trying to do things will not. Go ahead.
mm. That is the last verse
Okay.
for today. 126. And when Abraham said, Lord, make this a safe land and provide its people with fruits, for whoever of them believes in God and the last day, he said, and for whoever disbelieves, for I will let him enjoy for a while. Then I will force him to the punishment of the fire, and wretched is the destiny. Amen.
Amen. He basically said it there. He is laying it out for you to understand in plain kindergarten English. But a lot of you still will not get it because a
Mm-mm,
lot of you still don't.
mm-mm,
Because
mm-mm.
you think one way and you think your way is great and you think your way is the only way. When you
Exactly.
realize it ain't just that, no flowery words, and you just wrong.
Mm-mm,
He is God. He knows everything because he created everything. So why
pretty
are you
much.
challenging him? And why are you misinterpreting him?
Girl,
Why are you not
girl.
listening?
Mhm.
He
I,
speaks in a loud thunder and a soft voice. You
yeah,
have to hear both.
just listen. I mean, honestly, it's my recap. Honestly, is that I have a tendency to believe this way, where as long as you believe in God, that to me is it. That is the foundation. That's the foundation to me. I feel that God has given many directions, journeys for his children, pathways to reach him. Yet everybody wants to say that their way is the right way
And the only.
and exactly the only way to get to God. And for some, there is a pathway that they must follow for them to reach God, but that's their spiritual journey. Okay?
Hmm.
You should not be out here trying to tell people your way's wrong. Who are you? When did God tell you this? Eh? You follow your spirit, follow your heart. Let that lead you.
Hmm.
You should not be bad mouthing other people. So I was trying to bring this up in our previous episode, and this recently had happened where again my mom was in a group of people that are faith based for English as a second language. They had a person on who is a former Islamic follower, right? So apparently this person, I call them a cultural Muslim, same way I
Hmm.
call anybody who's a cultural Christian or
Yep,
cultural
we
Jew.
got those. Hmm.
You culturally that, but you don't really practice it.
Hmm.
But you have a lot of these people on this line who finally have someone who's a former Muslim who they can ask questions to. And of course, me being me, listening in the background, right? I couldn't help it. And I was like, nope, that's wrong. Nope, that's wrong. Nope, that's incorrect. No, that's not right. I'm not Muslim. Well, technically, you can say anyone's Muslim, but I'm not, I don't follow Islam. Okay.
Hmm.
And so that was one of the things that he had mentioned. He goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They say that no, all the prophets in the Bible were all Muslims." And I was like, "Yeah, but I
Okay.
understand." But I was like, "I understand that. I can understand why." And but he was like, "You can, trying to help these people figure out how they can debate or talk to their their Islamic friends about this." And I was like, "So of course I had to get in. So I had to jump in. I couldn't. So I moved my mother over and started talking." And I was like, "But isn't the reason why they say that is because what the word Muslim means? One who submits to the will of God." So that's what they're not saying that these people weren't Jewish. They weren't Israelites. No.
Right.
He's just saying that because they call them Muslim because of the term of what the Arabic word Muslim stands for. Is
Right.
that
The
correct?
definition.
He said, "Yeah, that's correct." So then why the heck are you telling people this in such a in such a salacious way, right?
Hmm.
Because the way he said it was like you making it sound like, oh, you gonna set these poor Christians up if they try to do a street conversation. You gonna set these people up to look like a fool.
Right.
Then he was like, oh, he brought up that they have in the Quran how Jesus spoke when he was born. And that's,
Nope.
you should tell them why that's a problem. Tell a Islamic person that that's not in the Tanakh or the Bible. So why should that be something that could be true
We
from
just read
Muhammad?
that. That's not there.
No, no, it's actually in there. It is
Oh.
there, but we haven't gotten to that chapter yet.
Oh.
However, I've seen other stories about it, but I was like, I did, the Lord always leads me down something. So I said, but sir, respectful, isn't that from the Syriac Gospels? Is that not from the pseudo Matthew Gospels that did not make it into the Tanakh or into the New Testament as we have it today? He goes, yeah. So why are you saying that came out of thin air? Because the way you making it sound is like you just ain't copying from. It's not like it's not a copyright infringement type of thing. Hey, it's stories from the Arabic time frames, but they're from the gospel time frames. Gospel meaning about Christ. Ergo, that's why they were talking about it. You remember the earlier followers of Jesus, they had a lot of different sects then too. You had the Ebionites, the Nazarenes. That's where that
Yeah.
gospel comes from. So why are you telling these Christians that's why they should bring up to another Islamic person as a, oh, that's a fallacy. It's not a fallacy. There are books about it. before the Quran. Those who follow Jesus wrote that story. Come on now. Don't be lying to these people. Those things bothered the crap out of me as I'm sitting there. And then I said, well, I also have known people who are only the Quran followers, people who do not follow hadiths. He goes, well, yeah, no, you have to have the hadiths because that's why you have to be able to pray and you have to know when you have to do this and you have to do that. I said, yeah, but you can get all of that from the Quran. According to those who only follow the Quran, not anybody else's hadith, because Muhammad was no angel. Neither was in a lot of these guys in the Bible as well. He weren't no angel. But no, you can't do that because blah blah blah. You have to have this hadith. I said, but again, there are people who do not follow the hadiths and just follow the Bible, follow the Quran, because to them, uh, for most people who follow Islam, the Quran is the revelation, the last revelation of God. Whereas in Christianity, Jesus is the last revelation of God. So if I don't need extra than Jesus, and if I don't need extra than the Quran, why the heck do I need extra hadiths? So again, we had that conversation. And then they tried to get me with the okey doke. Well, Muhammad never really met God. And I was like, so did Paul ever meet Jesus?
That's in both books. Even I know that.
You feel me? I was like, you
Yeah,
can't put that.
you see me? I know that, and I don't. I'm just learning about the Quran now.
Girl. I was like, you can't fight with you can't have and one, why are you trying to fight with somebody? Well, number two, it's like you can't use that as an example to somebody who follows Islam. You never met God. I'm sorry. We have an entire New Testament. Thanks to a guy named Paul, who used to be Saul, who saw Jesus, the spirit of Jesus.
Yeah,
The same way Muhammad said he saw the spirit of Gabriel.
right.
You can't use that. Do not set up a Christian to fail. Because that will be like a
Definitely cultural and bad at it too. It's like more of the stereotypical type of cultural thing, not cultural like you grew up in. It's like, oh, this is what I saw on TV and in print, and this is what I'm thinking.
hmm. That's why I said for a lot of those who believe in and follow Jesus, a believer who follows and believes Jesus is the Messiah as well as the Son of God and the Son of Man. Okay, please understand if you want to have an honest discussion with someone who is of a different faith, please understand their stuff. Don't come at it with your bias and your so-called holier than thou motions. Please don't do that because that's not respectful. That's not. Don't try to change people, but come
Meet
to them
them
on an
where,
actual discussion.
meet them
Ex-
where they're at. That's why I
You know
laugh.
what I'm
It's
saying.
like
You know what I'm
meet
saying.
them where
You
they're
know what I'm
at. Not.
saying.
That's why it's a creed for a reason.
Yeah, girl, it's a good one. I mean, and that's literally it was so funny to me because if I had not been on this journey, I
Hmm.
would not have been able to get on that call
Right.
confidently.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. It is the way that he's using us to have these educational journeys is something of a delight, an insight, and just like, damn.
Right.
Because, like I said, as I said in the beginning of the episode, to now, and for some reason, today, oh, my green screen all messing up. Hold up. Today
Mm,
is the deep day,
mm.
meaning
Oh, we've
if
had a
you,
lot of those days too, though.
oh, we do, but this
They
is
just keep
extra.
getting deeper and deeper. Hmm.
No, that's what I'm saying, getting deeper and deeper. I'm saying this because our episode before, we spent most of the time having a conversation. Then we got to the word. This episode, we had conversation. We got to the word, and the conversation moved. Meaning that these two episodes are long. This episode, dude, we don't have episodes this long. So enjoy, people. But I'm saying is that it is flowing from us. We're not stopping, and we're like, oh, this is just
Hmm.
somebody needs to hear this, and I'm hoping you're gonna enjoy it because y'all need to know. But with that, since Sheila finished and I'm looking at the time, we're going to end here.
Because I got
We're
two for you more hours to get to church today.
well, right. And so we thank y'all for enjoying, for rocking with us, for understanding and learning with us. So this has been Godly Spiritual Ladies. I'm on your co-host Gwendolyn. That is.
Sheila.
And we will see you all next time.